Daniel! Where is Daniel? Okay.
So one here. Right in the middle, please. Excuse me, sir. This way, please. Arms up.
In a surprising turn of events, heavyweight contender Zhilei Zhang has changed his stance ahead of the much-anticipated rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois.
Do you believe that you would knock Anthony Joshua out?
如果说这场比赛真的发生了，你觉得你能把约书亚给干掉吗？
绝对能干掉。
Absolutely.
Usyk Dubois next week, who wins?
预测一下下周乌西克和杜博。
以前我都是预测，乌西克会赢，但是这一次。我还是比较喜欢杜博。
Zhang, once a staunch supporter of Usyk's style, now finds himself backing the younger, stronger Dubois to pull off an upset in this clash for the heavyweight crown. The prediction has raised eyebrows considering Usyk's dominant reign in the division, but Zhang's words reflect the growing confidence around Dubois' potential.
Well, I used to be a fan of Usyk's style, I still am, but this time I'm favoring Dubois.
The rematch holds immense significance. Usyk has already solidified his place among the sport's greats. The Ukrainian fighter has conquered multiple weight classes, first making his mark at cruiserweight where he reigned as the undisputed champion, defeating the likes of Tony Bellew. Usyk's transition to heavyweight has been equally impressive. He defeated Derek Chisora and Anthony Joshua twice, capturing the WBA, IBF, and WBO belts. Most recently, Usyk added the WBC title to his collection, becoming the first undisputed heavyweight champion since Lennox Lewis in 1999 after a controversial majority decision over Tyson Fury in May 2024.
Sooner or later, I mean, he is getting on. I mean, forget the professional fights, actually, which he's had a lot, not bucket loads, but it's the amateur contests as well. I mean, what, over 200 amateur fights. There is absolutely no doubt that Oleksandr Usyk doesn't like it to the body. I mean, it's the famous low blow situation of last time. Was it low? Whatever. I mean, that was the past. But one thing is for sure. He don't like it to the body. You saw when AJ hit him to the body, he said it was low there, he turned away. Obviously, the borderline shot against Dubois, he was hurt. I mean, one thing's for sure, he didn't cop one in the nuts, right? Whether it was low or not was debatable, but it wasn't. He went down because he was hurt, really, to the stomach, not to the.
And he moaned to the referee.
And he was down for a long time. A long time.
However, Usyk's journey has not been without bumps. In his first bout with Daniel Dubois, the British challenger rocked Usyk with a thunderous punch that floored the champion. The punch was ruled low, but it sparked much debate. While Usyk recovered to win by stoppage in the 9th round, the incident left lingering questions about Dubois' power and his potential to cause problems for Usyk in the future. Since then, Dubois has been on a tear, winning fights against Jarrell Miller, Filip Hrgovic, and most notably Anthony Joshua, all by knockout. The young Brit has grown from the experience and now holds the IBF belt, meaning that a win in the rematch would see Usyk crowned undisputed champion once again.
What's going to be the difference?
I'm going to win, that's it.
By KO?
A win, that's the main thing, a win. Points, knockout, anything, a win. Whatever way it comes, any means necessary.
Tyson Fury, the reigning British heavyweight champion, has also weighed in on the rematch, although he's more cautious about picking a winner. Fury has faced Usyk twice and understands the depth of his skill set, but he also knows how dangerous Dubois can be, especially with his size, strength, and unrelenting power. Fury respects Usyk's experience and mentality, particularly after battling Fury in 2 grueling contests, but he also acknowledged that Dubois could very well land that one punch that changes the fight. His advice to Dubois: knock him out. Fury's take on the fight highlights the uncertainty and intrigue surrounding the rematch.
Final one, Usyk, Dubois, or Anthony Joshua, who would you rather fight? Just hypothetically.
Who would I rather fight right now? Usyk. Because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout. And I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do, because I can't leave it go to the decision. I'm going to have to knock the cunt out, but yeah, that's the one I want. But if I don't get that, then it'd be Joshua, the biggest British fight that will ever happen. And it would break all records, and it would sell out 100,000 at Wembley in an hour. And it's a fight that I think can happen for sure if I decide to come back, and the deal's right, and all the other that goes with it.
What's the one bit of advice you'd give to Dubois against Usyk?
knock him out. Because I wouldn't say that because it's in England and it's on his home show. So just do the best you can. That's it. Best you can. It hurt him before the body shot put him down heavily.
Former world champion Andy Lee, who trained Tyson Fury, had similar sentiments. He praised Dubois for the improvements he's made since his loss to Joyce, pointing out that Dubois' newfound confidence and knockout streak show that he's ready for a big challenge. However, Lee still leaned toward Usyk, acknowledging that the champion's experience would likely be too much for the younger fighter, despite the concerns surrounding Dubois' power.
I don't know, I think Dubois has as good a chance as anybody at the moment because he's on a good roll. He's going to come trying to steamroll Usyk. Unless Usyk's got old overnight, I don't see him slipping up. It's a good fight, two good champions, and I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Tony Bellow, who was defeated by Usyk in a one-sided affair, was even less generous in his assessment of Dubois. Bellow, who knows Usyk's psychological game better than most, pointed out that Dubois has shown a tendency to fold under pressure. He recalled Dubois' knee injury in his first loss to Joe Joyce, suggesting that the British fighter might crumble again if the going gets tough. Bellew believes that Usyk's technical prowess will outshine Dubois' raw aggression and power, making the rematch another dominant victory for the champion.
We've seen them do the wrong things in the past. We've seen him take a knee, whatever have you. But the best way to explain Daniel Dubois is he's a 27-year-old veteran. He's experienced everything the boxing can throw at him. He's been dropped, he's been down, he's been stopped, and he's found a way back. And he's now on the back of his biggest ever victories. He's on his best ever run. The victory over AJ was something else. For me, I think Daniel Dubois' big chance here is the first six.
He carries his power late though.
No, he does, but
slows down a bit, doesn't he?
It's not that he slows down. It's up here with me.
Well, yeah, you're right.
It's all the problems are all up here because I think, as a fighting specimen, as an athletic specimen, the boy's a machine.
Some, like Dave Allen, have a different outlook. Allen, who has sparred with Usyk, emphasized that while Dubois' power could be dangerous, it's Usyk's superior boxing IQ that would be the decisive factor. According to Allen, Dubois would need to do more than just land a big punch. He'd need to outbox Usyk, something few fighters have managed. Allen's prediction reflects the view that Usyk's mastery of the fundamentals and ring intelligence will likely outclass Dubois, even if the latter has improved significantly.
I think Dubois will beat him. That's my early prediction. I know a lot of people will obviously fancy Usyk, and rightfully so. And as much as I like Dubois and think he's getting better and all the rest of it, I'd like to see Usyk win. I think Usyk's a great fella and a great fighter, but I think Dubois will win.
On the other hand, Adam Booth, who trains Dubois, has been adamant about his fighter's progression. Booth credits the loss to Joe Joyce for forcing Dubois to reassess his approach, and he believes Dubois has transformed into a more disciplined and tactical boxer. No longer relying solely on his raw power, Booth believes that Dubois is now a much more dangerous and complete fighter. His growth has been evident, and Booth is confident that Dubois' evolution will make him a tougher opponent for Usyk than he was in their first bouts.
How do you see this one, Adam, playing out?
Different to the first one. I can make much more of an argument for Dubois in this fight.
Me too.
Firstly, because he actually had success in the first fight.
He did. Do you think it was a low blow?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You do think it was a low blow?
Absolutely was. If you look,
you do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, sorry. You caught me out then with the question. If you watch, it lands low, and while it's got contact with the shorts, it actually rides up at the point of impact.
So I've no use to my argument.
But it's irrelevant. Yeah. Because they're going to fight again. Yeah. Usyk won the first time, and as he said, he won by stoppage. But Daniel Dubois is a different fighter now. Fighting is 90% mental, and he is a completely different fighter mentally. He lets his hands go with freedom. He now trusts his engine because he had those rounds with Jarrell Miller that tested his engine. Yeah. So he's kind of ticked the little boxes along the way, old school style.
Chris Algieri, another key figure in Dubois' camp, echoed Booth's optimism. Algieri noted that Dubois now has the confidence and experience needed to compete at the highest level. His victories over top-tier fighters like Joshua serve as proof that he is capable of rising to the occasion. With a renewed sense of belief and a more strategic approach, Algieri believes that Dubois can make a serious push for the heavyweight title, presenting a real challenge to Usyk's reign.
But the narrative is much better for the Dubois rematch. You've got the fact that they fought, And then since then, Dubois has been on a tear, beating guys that he was the underdog against, Ergovich, and then Anthony Joshua, of course. You know, the guy has like really revamped his entire career, turned it around, gone from a guy that people saw as a quitter to being potentially the most dangerous man in the world. So you've got this narrative now that Dubois is a different guy. So this rematch will be different. Also, you have the fact that Usyk in the ring after his win over Tyson Fury, Dubois came into the ring, challenged him, and Usyk said, Your Excellency, Turkey, make the fight with Dubois. He's a man of his word. That guy says something, there's a good chance it's going to happen. So I believe the narrative is there, you know, for this fight, obviously, and this is one of the reasons why it's being made.
Ricky Hatton, a longtime observer of the heavyweight scene, also believes Dubois has made significant strides since their first encounter. Hatton saw the loss to Joyce as a pivotal moment in Dubois' career, one that forced him to reevaluate his approach and become more focused and determined. Hatton argues that with the discipline and resolve Dubois has shown since then, the rematch will be a far more competitive affair.
I think it's the best fight. I think they're the best two heavyweights in the world, and there was a bit of controversy with the last time, which goes with the grain in boxing, doesn't it? A bit of controversy, but no, I think Daniel's got a better chance than he had the first time. Yeah, what with the win off Joshua, that his confidence is massively up. Well, when he fought Usyk last time, he come off the defeat from Joyce, and you know, but now he's absolutely flying. He's got as good a chance. Better chance than he had the first time around, I think.
David Haye, a former world champion and one of the key figures in boxing analysis, agrees with Hatton. Haye sees the timing of the fight as a crucial factor. Dubois will have the advantage of fighting in London in front of a home crowd that will undoubtedly give him a mental boost. Furthermore, Haye pointed out that Usyk might not be as sharp as he was in their first encounter, having endured 2 lengthy, taxing battles with Fury, and given Usyk's advancing age. Haye suggests that Dubois could take advantage of any signs of wear and tear in the champion's game. However, Haye remained cautious, acknowledging Usyk's adaptability in rematches, which makes the fight even more unpredictable.
You know, he's got a shot, he's got a massive shot, but how do you bet against someone who's never lost? He doesn't know what it's like to lose. But I think if there's ever a chance for Dubois to beat someone like Usyk, it's now with the momentum he's got. You know, at home, he's got everything in his favour, and you know, Usyk has got nothing. He's got nothing to gain really because he's already beat. But he done the same thing with Tyson Fury and AJ. Gave them both rematches and done it better the second time round. So I'm really intrigued in this fight, and you know, everyone's going to be behind Daniel Dubois. You know, he's a great guy. Straight down the line, but he's fighting a wizard. He's fighting someone who doesn't know what it's like to lose, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Usyk victory, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Usyk starts showing signs of age. Hard training camps, all those amateur fights, world championships, amateur, the WSBs, he's done so much, so many rounds on the clock, so many miles on the clock. He's pristine.
Fraser Clark, a heavyweight who has sparred with Usyk, isn't as optimistic about Dubois' chances. Clark recognizes Dubois' power, but believes that it won't be enough to overcome Usyk's superior technical ability. For Clark, the key to beating Usyk lies not just in raw strength, but in intelligence, execution, and strategy. Dubois will need to show more than just brute force to win this fight, and Clark believes that Usyk's ring IQ will be the ultimate difference.
It gives a lot more. It's a different Dubois, it's a different fight. I think he gives a lot more problem. I think he's got a lot more confidence. I think he's starting to realise when he hits things fall over. You know, if he hits them often enough and clean enough, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're Usyk or whoever else. I know he's a tough man, Usyk, but if Daniel hits you often enough and hard enough, you break. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Saying that, I know he's in great form and that, but this Usyk, mate, he's the real deal, mate. So no one just get giddy and get too excited about Daniel, mate. We're talking about the real deal, and Oleksandr Usyk. When he needs to be tough and tough, and when he needs to be super smart, he's that as well. But I think Daniel, with the wave of confidence he's got, would cause him more problems now than he did before, definitely.
On the other hand, former world champion Prince Nasim Hamemed provided a more favorable take on Dubois' chances. Hamemed pointed out that the first fight was far from a one-sided affair. The controversial low blow that temporarily disrupted Usyk's rhythm may have been a pivotal moment, and if Dubois can maintain the intensity and power he showed during their first meeting, he could very well cause an upset. Hamemed believes that Dubois' unpredictability and willingness to take risks could make the rematch even more dangerous for Usyk than it was the first time around.
Do you think both of them coming off losses, it's the fight we always wanted to see as domestic boxing fans?
Yeah, I suppose that fight is right there, and everybody still wants to see it. But to be honest, we've still got Daniel Dubois, and I was sat next to Daniel Dubois.
Triple D, baby.
Triple D, baby, all day, every day. Let me just tell you this. In my eyes, for me, he's the only one. Triple D is the only one, Daniel Dubois is the only one that's ever hurt Usyk and put him down on the floor, made him think. And he was down there for like 3-4 minutes. So who's to say that once he fights Usyk again, to go out there and absolutely destroy him and bring our belts back to our country like it's supposed to be.
While the optimism surrounding Dubois is undeniable, some experts remain more cautious. Trainers and analysts like Teddy Atlas and Johnny Nelson understand the improvements Dubois has made, but they believe that Usyk's superior experience and technical skills will ultimately prove too much for the challenger. Atlas, a renowned commentator and trainer, emphasized that while Dubois has matured as a fighter, Usyk's intelligence and ability to adapt in the ring will be the deciding factor. Nelson, too, believes that Usyk's ability to handle pressure and maintain control of the fight will make it difficult for Dubois to impose his will.
I love both guys. I have respect for both guys. And look, we're close to Usyk, so I'm not going to hide that. And I think a lot of both of them as men, forget about fighters, as men, I think a lot of Usyk, the man he is, what he's done really for his country, to really fight during the pressure of his country being torn apart and invaded by another country, by Russia, and to fight during those times and that going on in his country with his people, and just, like I said, just destroying what he loves, Ukraine. And I also have a lot of respect for Dubois, for the man he is and what he's become. That he fell apart in 2 fights. Yeah, different things happen, I get it, but physical things happen in the fight with Joyce, and then in the fight with Usyk, where Usyk, some people think that it should have been a punch to the body, it shouldn't have been a breakage and a stoppage, and that it changed the fight.
How much of a chance do you give Daniel Dubois in comparison to the second AJ fight, the Fury fights?
I think Daniel's performance in this fight will be better than his first fight against Usyk, but I do believe Usyk will put on a better performance and probably stop Daniel, in my opinion. Usyk has forever shown the public that let me blueprint download your blueprint, and I've got your number. He beat Tyson better the second time. He beat AJ better the second time, and both fighters boxed better the second time around. So the only thing Daniel's got now, he's got unbelievable self-belief and confidence that's come since their last fight. So again, we'll just see what's changed.
Lawrence Okoli, a fighter who has a keen understanding of the heavyweight landscape, also believes that Daniel Dubois could pose a serious threat to Oleksandr Usyk in their upcoming rematch. Okoli's view is rooted in Dubois' recent surge in confidence and the momentum he's built after several key victories. He argues that Dubois' youthful energy and explosive power give him the potential to put Usyk under pressure early.
Dubois Usyk, how does that go?
I'll do this every single time and say that someone's going to beat Usyk. I think at this stage, Dan is, I think it's going to come down to youth. But Dan's very, very intense. He's on a high right now. He's going to have Don Charles in his corner screaming him on. So Usyk is definitely a talented boxer. We've seen it. He's one of the best we've seen. Movement and, keeping someone under mental pressure. However, if someone's not thinking about that and you're not able to hurt them, although he did stop him in the last fight, in this fight, if he comes in with that kill or be killed mentality and just keeps on going from round 1 to round 12, at some point I just think he's going to catch Usyk, and then it could be the beginning of the end. That's my thoughts. I mean, Usyk has got a black eye. We've never seen him with a black eye before. Is it because he's 37? I don't know. But you know, like, I don't know. I just can't see how he's able to keep doing it.
However, Kevin Lerena, a boxer who's also shared the ring with Dubois, offers a more measured outlook on the contest. While he acknowledges the raw strength of Dubois, particularly his jab and heavy punches, Lerena is cautious about how the fight will unfold in the later rounds. He points to Usyk's proven ability to adjust and adapt as the rounds progress, something that could prove decisive if Dubois doesn't manage to hurt the Ukrainian in the early stages.
Any heavyweight or any fighter gets hit by Daniel will have a hard time. He really punches hard. I mean, it's obvious, you know. There's a reason why he knocked out Anthony Joshua in sparring. He's dropped many fighters in sparring because he's a massive puncher. So I think if you can avoid that big punch and boxing and hurt him and put him on the back foot, you got a chance to beat Daniel Dubois.
Carl Froch, another veteran of the sport, has a more neutral perspective on the fight, but leans slightly in favor of Usyk. Froch acknowledges that both fighters have improved since their last encounter, with Dubois notably refining his technique and growing in confidence. Still, Froch gives the edge to Usyk, citing the champion's superior technical ability and experience. Despite this, Froch expresses some concern about Usyk's age and the toll that his long and tough career, especially the recent battles with Fury, may have taken on him.
So, as I mentioned at the start, I'm here for the rematch for Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois, the second time. The first time they fought, Dubois got stopped with a heavy, stiff-looking jab from the southpaw position, and people questioned his desire and heart for the game, saying that he kind of quit. I mean, he did get dropped with a right hand, and he did just stand up in time, like 9 seconds, and the referee waved it off. But he had a really good fight. He really did give Usyk something to think about. He hit him with that low blow. It was borderline. It wasn't straight in the crown jewels, but it was a low blow, and the referee declared it no knockdown. And a big fuss and song and dance was made about it being a low blow. Frank Warren made a big deal about it, and fair enough. I mean, Dubois put Usyk on the floor, and it was borderline. And you've probably seen everything. It was ruled a low blow, so it didn't go in Daniel Dubois' favour. Usyk got 4 or 5 minutes to recover, climbed off the floor, and then ended up stopping Daniel Dubois with a solid right hand. I think it was round 9. And yeah, won the fight, defended his titles. But this is the rematch, and Dubois is a different animal. He's a better fighter now. He's had some great wins against Jerome Miller, Hrgovic. He absolutely splattered Anthony Joshua. We've seen that fight, and he's now full of confidence. He's on the crest of a wave, and he's a guy now getting into the ring really, really solidly, believing in himself. He's like a new fighter. He's now IBF world champion. He's not beaten the champ to get the title.
In the end, the rematch between Usyk and Dubois is shaping up to be an intriguing battle. While some believe Dubois' improvements will be enough to give him the edge, others insist that Usyk's technical brilliance and experience will see him through. With predictions ranging from pure power to ring IQ, one thing is certain: this rematch is set to be a thrilling spectacle that could define the future of the heavyweight division.